Ladies and gentlemen, I got this great plan to make $1.6 million out of CPF Life. And I've actually shared with some of you before, but I'll share again today. But something happened to my health recently that caused me to rethink whether that is even attainable. And most importantly, watch to the end to see what are some of my reflections and some strategies to cope with this. So let's watch on, shall we? So for some of you who may not know what CPF Life is, CPF Life is a retirement annuity that the government of Singapore actually has created for all Singaporeans and all CPF members as well. So CPF Life actually is formed first when you transfer at 55 years old your money from your special account to your retirement account. And from then, you're at 55 years old, it will compound all the way to 65 or 70 years old. So between this period, you have to decide when to start withdrawing. And the last date you can start withdrawing is at 70 years old. That they will make it mandatory for you to start withdrawing money. And I've got this wonderful plan, and I'll explain to everybody how they're going to make 1.6 million. It's not going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be very difficult. And many of you are going to laugh at it, but I'll share with this plan. This plan is contingent of something, which is your good health, and recently, things happened to my life that caused me to rethink whether that's possible. But let's watch on, shall we? Something happened earlier this year. The Prime Minister and also the Minister of Manpower has announced that we're going to have a closure of the special account at 55 years old, and concurrently, now our retirement account can be increased to 4 times the basic retirement sum. They call it 4 times BRS. What the hell is that? We can ignore the nuances, but most importantly, for those people who can afford it, which is a very big assumption, if you can afford it, increase your RA to 426,000, which is the max you can go at 2025. And that's the enhanced retirement sum. So this is a max you can put in at 2025. And this would give you a lot more retirement payout when you hit 65, 70 years old. So after I saw this, I was actually quite skeptical and said that, nah, I'll manage a fund myself and things like that. And my wife was the one who actually said that, Lou, you idiot, you didn't see this. This is actually a very good thing, okay? And I think, she said that, I feel very secure if every month I can have a few $1,000 that is risk-free guaranteed by government all the way to the day I die. And I thinking, yeah, it actually makes sense. And I intend to do this, right? So at 55 years old, which I'm not yet there, by 55 years old, I will try to put in as max as possible. But let's assume that, I'm 55 years old this coming January, I can put in $426,000. I can let it compound and compound at 4% interest and all the way until I hit 70 years old. Now, I believe that with current kind of a healthcare and meaningful of life and things like that, social network, I can literally work until 70 years old. I don't think it's that impossible. And there, I'll start withdrawing my CPF Life because that's mandatory. And I have this kind of ambition that I want to live to 100 years old. And if I actually can live to 100 years old, it means that every month I'll withdraw money all the way until 100 years old. And I intend to do that by exercising a lot, which I do. I intend to live a very healthy lifestyle. Today, I do easily 40 push-ups a day and do a lot of leg raises. I think we do 80 leg raises, 15 to 18,000 steps a day. That's about 10 kilometers walk and very meaningful life, right? All this will help to extend my longevity. Some of you can say, Mr. Lu, hey, 100 years old, jumbo, kind of thing. Well, listen to it. We shoot for the star, even to land on the moon is not so bad, right? Let's see what the number is. So let's assume that indeed Mr. Lu can live up to 100 years old, okay? That's a bit far-fetched to most people, but yes, okay, I'll try. And later I'll start paring down and say that if I don't live to 100, but I live to 90, what's the number, okay? But let's say I can live to 100 years old. Every month I'll extract $4,420. That's actually, something that is in our CPF Life calculator right now. Okay, so this is from the website. And at 70 years old, I'll start withdrawing $4,420 per month. And if I can live for another 30 years to 100 years old, I will take 4,420 times 12 months times 30 years. This will give me a $1.59 million, which is round up 1.6. And by the time I reach 55 years old, the number will be a bit more than that. I'll think about 4,005 or something like that. So easily you cross $1.6 million. So not too bad, right? Put in about $430,000, I get back $1.6 million 4 times. It's not too bad, right? So the idea of putting in $426,000 and live to 100 years old and get back $1.6 million is a very ambitious goal. Now, I'm going to state why I think that this is a plan that I should have. Now, many of you want to live long, but you don't know why you want to live long, because you just want to avoid death. For me, I want to live long for many reasons, but one of the big reasons is I want to get back this money from the government. And this is something that I play by the rules, right? If I live as long as I can, I'll get back a lot of money. So this is something that I want to strive for and encourage everybody to strive for. But that said, recently I got a few health scares, and that's something that caused me to think that 100 years old might be pushing my luck, right? So now, what are these health scares? So the first thing is that my spine right at the bottom has a tailbone, right? A few years ago, I did tell some of you that I have this terrible, excruciating tailbone pain. And I was very fortunate to have a very good sports doctor that know exactly where to give a steroid jab into it. And that will relieve the pain from 6 to 9 months and things like that. And it was a very good treatment. At some point in time, I actually thought the pain would go away, right? So after a jab, when the pain came back, it wasn't as bad. The tailbone pain has been gone for quite a while. But you know what? Recently it came back, and it came back quite badly. And that's something that caused me to think, whether I can even live as long with this kind of excruciating pain. So logically, I need to go back to the doctor again. But what surprised me was that the doctor home treated my back, and he was a very good doctor. He passed away, surprisingly, and he was only my age. If I'm not wrong, he has a heart attack. It was a very sudden heart attack. And that scared the hell out of me to know that two things. Number one, I don't have a good doctor to treat my back anymore. I don't know any other good doctors that can do it. If you know one, please let me know. But second thing is that, healthy people can suddenly go, and very surprisingly. So my great plan of living to 100 years old may not materialize, right? In the recent months, I also have a second health issue, right? I started developing constipation. And I'm not too sure what the reason is, probably due to my frequent flying and, maybe the bowels of my gallbladder start to change, causing clearing of my system a lot more difficult. But scaringly, 2 weeks ago, I started to see blood in my stools, and it's quite scary. So immediately when I came back to Singapore, I quickly got a colonoscopy done, right? And I didn't even bother to go through, medical procedure, going to see a GP, and slowly get a referral letter, then find a doctor, and, slowly book a hospital space and things like that. It was so scary that I immediately go straight to a specialist. I said, I'll pay cash and just get it clear. It was that scary because it is scary. I wouldn't go through the details of what I saw. But it turned out that, I kanchong for a very small thing. I actually had piles internally. I didn't know piles can be internal. And fortunately, since then, the doctor has given me a proper dose of medicine. Everything is clear up. And I think I will be clear of colon cancer risk for at least the next 5 to 10 years. But it got me to think a lot, right? That despite me being so healthy, so active, and, trying to watch over my diet and things like that, life can suddenly turn very, very negatively and very suddenly without any reason. So all this caused me to think that life expectancy is not like S&P 500. S&P 500, we hold it long enough, chances is very, very high that, you're going to get this powerful compounding. He has done that for the last 100 years, and I would easily think that you can go on for a long time. We can all plan to live long, plan to exercise, plan to extract as much possible out of CPF Life as possible, but there's no guarantee. I think it caused me a rethink about life. I'll give you my conclusion of this whole episode. Now, to my CPF system, I'll still say that I will still put in my ERS all the way to $400,000 as much as I can, and extract as much money as I can and live as long as I can. This I will still do, but I'll make that my safety net. And anything that I have on top of that, my cash or whatever, at some point in time, I'll start using and enjoy life a lot more. And I'll try to live happy and healthy. So that will form the basis of, in some sense, dividends, super secured dividends, right? 4,000 over dollars a month to 100 years, yes, is 1.6 million. But if let's say I fall short of that to 90 years, that's a different, a lesser number, but it's still a very big number. How do you live a long life, right? Exercise well, eat well, but most importantly, having very strong social connection is a very powerful influence to longevity. There is a lot of research around this, right? There is Harvard research that actually says that the best predictor of long life isn't about exercise, what food you eat, whatever, or no smoking or smoking. It's really about how happy our relationships are in our life. That's the best predictor of it. Close relationship more than money or fame are what keep people happy throughout life. I have a very good close relationship with many people, especially my family, close business partners and friends and things like that. I think this is top on my list that I'm gonna make sure that I maintain that for my life. And I hope that this Harvard research will come out true. Now, something is on my side as well. Genetics is on my side. So my dad is 85, 6 years old. He's very, very healthy, super healthy. His mom lived to 97 years old, okay, before she passed away. And all the uncles are all in their 80s, and easily, I think my dad will easily hit 90s and above. So I think genetics is on my side, and I want to take advantage of this and try to stretch as much as possible. For some of you, genetics may not be on your side. Then make sure you improve your social connection, live well, eat well, exercise well, whatsoever. Then you can maximize the CPF Life payout as much as you can. So I'm still going to work towards this plan. If I can meet 100 years, I'll get 1.6 million. And if I can't, I will get maybe about 1 million. It's still a lot of money. Okay, I put in 426,000, I get a million. I think that's still okay. And I also know that life may not be kind to me and cut short this, but I think we should plan towards stretching and reaching that goal. Something that I believe a lot, and I really like to poll, you guys for your opinion. I think this is what life is as well. The more you believe in something, the more it will happen. If you believe you will die young, I assure you, you will die young. Because when you believe that you die young, you will start to live life gravitating towards the outcome. But if you believe that you want to live long, you will do everything right to live long as well. So belief is very important, right? And belief is very important in achieving goals in life. Belief is very important to motivations and relationship as well. So I strongly believe in that. And I think, if we put our belief in wanting to live a long life, we'll do everything right to reach towards there. The chances will be high that we reach it. I have a great family that I have, and this is my thoughts. I want to live long, to be around them, be a friend, be a parent, be a mentor to them, and see their life do well as well. Share some of my life and experience, right? And as for my wife, I am a big believer that as long as I'm around, she will want to be around, right? So if I live to 100 years old, I got a chance that my wife will live to 101 years old. Interestingly, this is where the numbers stack out as well. So if both of us live to 100 years, and there's a huge, ridiculous number, but if both of us do live to 100 years old, it will not be just $1.6 million because she's going to do the same thing. She's going to max out ERS. In fact, that was the one that she taught me, right? So she maxed out her ERS, I maxed my ERS. We will extract $3.2 million out of the CPF Life. That's a big number, right? Really, really excited about this amazing $3.2 million. And if I take this $3.2 million into Malaysia to retire, it'll be $3.2 million times 3.2, right? Which is the current exchange rate now is of 10 million ringgit, for the rest of my life from 70 years old. Of course, that's a long way to go, right? But 70 years old to now, I think it's a great, exciting life, and that I'm going to have. So I really want to live a long life to enjoy this. I think there is an element of seriousness and an element of lightheartedness in my message. A lot of you are going to say, Mr. Lu, is sure or not, right? I want to live until 100 years old. Work towards that goal, right? If I fall short, live until 90, it's still not so bad, right? If I live until 85, I'll just get average. Not so bad, okay? Not so bad. So let me think of what you think, right? And remember, hit like and subscribe and join us in our Telegram channel for a chat as well. Okay, exciting things are happening. I would say that the next 2 weeks will be exciting with inflation rates coming out, with FOMC announcing, and most importantly, the US presidential election outcome is going to be out. All these have huge impact on our stock market and bonds market and all the financial market. So remember to follow us very closely on the YouTube channel and on the Telegram channel as well. We'll see you in a day or two. Bye-bye.